NBA stars that didn't deserve to be an all-star. There are plenty of players who deserve to be an all-star, but never got the nod. This isn't that video. These are the bona fide NBA stars who made an all-star game, even though they didn't deserve to. Many of these players are among the best of all time, and certainly deserved numerous all-star selections, just not this particular one. The common theme you'll find here is name recognition. The players who made this list are household names and had already made a bunch of all-star games in their careers prior to the year they made the list for, because fans vote these players in. It's inevitable that a future Hall of Famer who is having a bad year still manages to get enough votes to make the team. Before we start naming names, please remember to comment, like, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss another video like this one again. Tim Duncan, 2011. Known as the Big Fundamental, Tim Duncan was still an effective player to a degree in 2011. That said, he was nowhere near All-Star quality at age 34. He had already made 12 All-Star games prior to his selection in 2011. While he deserved most, if not all of those, his stats fell off considering the season in question. He averaged just 13.4 points and 8.9 rebounds that year. His scoring output was 4.5 points less than the previous year, and it was the first time in his career that he didn't average double-digit rebounds. Duncan is arguably the best power forward to ever play the game, but this season, he fell short of his typical all-star pedigree. Vlad Divac, 2001. It may come as a surprise to see some that Vlad Divac has only made one all-star game in his illustrious career, and he didn't deserve the one he got. Certainly the Serbian player played at an all-star level in the mid-1990s and early 2000s, but he faced stiff competition at that time. The NBA was dominated by centers for much of Divac's career, whether it be Shaq, David Robinson, Patrick Ewing, or Hakeem Olajuwon. Most of those centers had begun to fade by 2001. The problem is, so had Divac. The nomination in 2001 was likely a token one voted in by fans simply because he was good enough that he should have already had one. At that time of the All-Star break, Divac was averaging just 10.4 points and 7.8 rebounds. Kobe Bryant, 2016. Kobe Bryant is one of the best players to ever play the game. May he rest in peace. While it's understandable a player as great as he was to get voted in when it was already announced it would be his final season in the NBA, he still has to be included here. He was shooting less than 35% per the field at the break. Yao Ming, 2011. What a career it could have been for Yao Ming. The 7'6" giant, even by NBA standards, had one of the silkiest shooting touches the league had ever seen. The Chinese export was so tall he could face up his opponents for 10 feet out and just shoot right over them. His jump shot had perfect form. All that size took its toll on the center. Yao had to play all offseason for the Chinese national team because he was their biggest celebrity. By the time his 9th and final season began, the mileage on the Yao was more like that of a 15-year vet. In fact, he had missed the entire previous year due to a foot injury. This season was supposed to be his triumphant return. However, he suffered another injury quickly and only played in 5 games, averaging 10.2 points and 5.4 rebounds. Thanks to the millions of votes cast by his Chinese fans, Yao was voted into the All-Star game, but he was injured and didn't actually play. Allen Iverson, 2010. The crossover that took the league by storm, enabling Allen Iverson to win an MVP and lead the league in scoring 4 times, was long gone by 2010. It was the final year of the point guard's career, so maybe the fans just wanted to see him one final time. He was voted in, but the fans didn't actually get to see him play as he was hurt. He played in just 28 games for 2 different teams with just 13.8 points, the lowest output of his career. AC Green, 1990. Okay, maybe this is a bit of a cheat because AC Green isn't exactly a star. He does hold the record for most consecutive games played with an astonishing 1,192, close to 15 full seasons when you factor in the strike-shortened season. He also played on some of the greatest teams ever as a key part of the 1980s Los Angeles Lakers and won 3 championships in his career. The 1990 All-Star Game was the only one for the NBA's Iron Man, and it would be nice to say he deserved it, but he didn't. He averages 12.9 points per game, which was actually less than the year before. John Havlicek, 1978. For our final player, we're going back more than 40 years to John Havlicek. While he was a dominant player for most of his career, making 13 All-Star games and winning 8 championships with the Boston Celtics, he was not the same player in 1978, his final season. He averages 16.1 points that year, his lowest amount since his rookie season that started back in 1962. He also averaged just 4 assists and 4 rebounds per game.